It's the day after Labor Day, which means school has started, the state fair has ended, and high school sports are back. Tonight, it's the Battle of the Lake Volleyball edition as we come to you from Mahtomedi High School, and the White Bear Lake Bears are set to take on the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Good evening, everybody. My name is David Schuyler, and I am the sports producer for Suburban Community Channels. Not typically used to being on the microphone, but I'm happy to do so to bring you the action tonight between the Bears and the Zephyrs. Coming into the match tonight, it's been decent starts to the year for both of these squads as Mahtomedi comes in with a 3-0 record and White Bear Lake comes in with a 2-0 record. So both of these teams undefeated. Mahtomedi, it's been non-conference matchups thus far for both squads as White Bear Lake took down Hutchinson to start the year on August 27th by a 3-1 final. And then it was Hill Murray that they faced the day after on August 28th, and they beat them in straight sets 3-0. On the other side, Mahtomedi coming in also with an undefeated record as they are 3-0 on the year. They face off against Cretin-Durham Hall, familiar foe for the White Bear Lake Bears coming out of the Suburban East Conference. Orono and St. Paul Highland Park. Their most recent victory against the Scots was the only match that they played where they lost a set. Against Cretin-Durham Hall and against Orono, they won both of those in straight sets. And against St. Paul Highland Park, they won 3-2, going all 5 sets in that one. But nevertheless, good starts. Both teams look to be really good teams this year. Mahtomedi coming off a state appearance last year, and White Bear Lake returning a lot of their starters from a season ago. So this should definitely be a terrific matchup as we battle for the literal Take the Lake Surfboard Trophy. Starters have been introduced, the national anthem has been sung, and Mahtomedi will get the first serve on the night as Sahar Ramali heads back to kick things off for Mahtomedi. And here we go. That spike attempt from Claire Crothers deflected off of the White Bear Lake defense and sailed out of bounds, so it'll be another serve coming here for Ramali. And the serve was an error as it went out of bounds. So White Bear Lake will take over on the serve, substituting in for the Bears and heading right back to serve right away will be number 13, junior Gianna Caruso. And that sailed out of bounds. I thought it might have been deflected in the back there by Ramali, but the line judge did not agree with me. He said it just sailed straight out of bounds, so another serve coming here for the Zephyrs. This time it's Crothers with the serve. Crothers with an up and tipped over the net there by Greatzer. But a nice play on defense by the Bears will get it across. Double hit is called on White Bear Lake, so Mahtomedi gets the point. Crothers with another serve. This one will be set across. Spike is hammered down by Kaylee Mulvey for the Zephyrs on the left side. Kaylee Mulvey and Sylvie Greatzer up front for the Zephyrs are going to be a force tonight. Greitzer's listed as 6'2" on their roster, and Mulvey is listed as 5'11". So a couple of lengthy gals up front for Mahtomedi as they race out to a very quick 5-1 lead in this one. Crothers still on the serve for the Zephyrs. That one was tipped over the net by Caruso. Spike attempt there by Mulvey was deflected by White Bear Lake and landed out of bounds. So the service streak continues for the Zephyrs, and a quick timeout is called by White Bear Lake. So Mahtomedi got the first point in this contest. It was answered right away by White Bear Lake. But then Mahtomedi rattled off the next 5 points straight and find themselves with a 6-1 lead here early on in this one. So Mahtomedi and White Bear Lake, although they're not in the same conferences, certainly familiar with each other. The last meeting that they had was almost exactly a year ago as the Bears and Zephyrs squared off over at White Bear Lake South Campus. The Bears came away with a 3-0 victory in that one. With the season still being young, nobody has had any conference matchups yet. There you could see a few of the records from the Metro East teams coming into this one. Mahtomedi, the only team in the conference who still has an undefeated score, unless you count Hastings, who hasn't played any matches yet. And Simley at 4-2, and South St. Paul somehow at 7-1 already, playing 8 contests in the young season. Crothers with the serve again, send it across. Mulvey now will try to spike it down, but it's returned there nicely by the Bears. That one was Brady Keeling for the Bears, who didn't quite get all of it. An error is called on the attack there for the Zephyrs, so White Bear Lake will finally put an end to the rally that the Zephyrs had been putting up. And Maddie Pearson will head back to take the service honors for the Bears. Unfortunately, though, her first serve sails out of bounds, so the side will go back right to Mahtomedi. Katie Hergenrader will serve for the Zephyrs. Ooh, a great spike there from the tall Ella Stadther up front for the Bears. Stadther stands almost a head taller than the rest of her teammates in the front of the net there. Don't have her height listed on the roster, unfortunately, but she looks to be maybe a couple of inches shorter than Greatzer, so we'll call her about 6 foot, 6'1". As a error is called there. And the serve will stay with Mahtomedi. Greatzer now will head back to serve for her the first time. And that was kind of a sidewinder spike, if you will. It had a little side spin on it. That's the terminology I was looking for, but couldn't figure out. Delivered there on the right side. I didn't quite catch the number up. I have a whole bunch of Mahtomedi fans right in front of me, so any numbers on the left side of the White Bear Lake court, a little difficult to read, but I will do my best for you folks here tonight. Huge hammer brought down there by Kaylee Mulvey, now over on the right side, but it was deflected nicely by White Bear Lake. Up front there by Larissa Kamarick for the Bears. So the Bears will get another serve. That was Mallory Moore trying to bring the spike down for the Zephyrs. But nice defense up front for White Bear Lake with a combination of Larissa Kamarick and Ella Stadther. Correction, it was Brooklyn Giespers and Larissa Kamarick up front for the Bears. Big spike coming down from the left side there. That was Giespers who went up and spiked it down. Didn't quite get all of it. So I think on the defense there for the Zephyrs, I expected it to come in a little bit harder and were caught off guard by the changeup. The White Bear Lake will retain the serve. They've crawled all the way back, and it now stands as a 9-7 score for Mahtomedi. Back and forth we go early on in this one. We thank you for tuning in to SEC Sports on this lovely Tuesday night, the day after Labor Day. Attack error there on Luisa Tarnowski for the Zephyrs, so White Bear Lake will get a second serve in a row as Brady Keeling heads back to do the honors. All tipped over the net there. The Bears will look to attack. Free ball here for Mahtomedi as it's sent across and tipped over the net by Sahar Ramali, and Mahtomedi will get the point. Tarnowski now will head back to serve for the Zephyrs for her first go-around. A couple of Bears had a miscommunication on the defense there. Oh, but a nice spike lands just inside the back line, just barely enough for the Bears, and they pick up the point. So after Mahtomedi races out to a 6-1 lead, ever since then it's been back and forth. It now stands 10-9. The Zephyrs with a slight edge, but this will be, I believe, the third serve in a row for White Bear Lake. As a short serve, and Sahar Ramali was completely caught off guard by that one, and just like that, we have an even contest. Mahtomedi student section tries to rally the team, get back on that trend they had early on in this one. But instead of that, it'll be an ace. That was Giespers who was serving for the ace for White Bear Lake. A little bit difficult to read the orange numbers with the white jerseys on the White Bear Lake side of things. Also, whoever decided these color schemes is going to be getting a phone call because both sides are wearing white. And it's like the biggest no-no in the history of sports. But nonetheless, Mahtomedi with the serve now, as Ramali will head back for her second go-around with the honors. That one sails out of bounds. And White Bear Lake will take right over. This is Caruso now serving for the Bears, and that one played. Thought would have sailed out of bounds, but gets sent back over by Crothers. And the hammer gets brought down by Ella Stadther for the Bears. Bears now finding themselves with their biggest lead in this contest. This is the first time they've led throughout the whole thing, as it was tied 1-1, and Mahtomedi ran away with the points for a while. So we'll see if the Bears can push their lead, or if Mahtomedi will be able to crawl ahead themselves. Stadther with another attempted kill. That's blocked up front. Over on the left side, that one is returned nicely by Mahtomedi. Greatzer on the attack. This one sent up. That's Tarnowski. Mulvey now with the big swing on the left-handed side. Mulvey, Greatzer, and Tarnowski are proving to be a lethal combination up front for the Zephyrs early on in this one. As there is Greatzer, who goes over to the right side and brings the hammer down for a clean kill. Goodness gracious, I would not want to get in the way of that thing. serve coming now from Crothers. Bears indecisive, but do end up making the correct decision as the ball sails out of bounds. And the side will once again go back in the favor of White Bear Lake. Ooh, a little teardrop over the net for the Bears. Mahtomedi was completely caught off guard by that one, and they weren't expecting it. Probably thought they were going to have something a little harder. So now it's Pearson on the serve for the Bears. Mulvey with the big swing. Dug out there nicely, though. Mulvey will get it across. This one fought over by the Zephyrs in the middle. Will head back the way of White Bear Lake. Pearson with her second straight serve. Greatzer coming up with that big right-handed swing once again over on the right side. They like to have those little quick spike attempts where the set goes backwards over the head of the setter, but that one was not successful as it went out of bounds. Mulvey now will take a crack at it from the left side. Dug out nicely there. And it's the second attempt that she gets to go. Now serving for the Zephyrs will be Katie Hergenrader. This is her second time with the honors. Stadther will try to tip it over, and she couldn't quite get all of that one. The second straight serve coming for Hergenrader. That big swing from Stadther sails out of bounds. It was close to the line, but didn't quite sneak in there. So we get a third serve coming now for Hergenrader, and just like that, things are all tied up once again. I believe this is the third or fourth time of the contest that we have found ourselves tied. Big right-handed swing there for the Bears, but it's dug out cleanly by Mahtomedi. Ooh, and some great defense up front there by Greatzer and Mulvey to get the point for Mahtomedi. That one is deflected up at the front of the net by Mahtomedi and sails out of bounds, so we find ourselves tied up once again. Gieske will head back now to serve for the Bears, try and get a run going for White Bear Lake. The changeup works for the Bears once again. I believe not intentional, as that was Giespers for the Bears, who had a little giggle to herself after she swung at that one, but nonetheless it works out for White Bear Lake. Back row spike attempt now, and that was out? Wow. From my vantage point, that did not look out at all. Granted, I was looking at the monitor. I don't know if we can take another look at that one again, but from my vantage point, it looked like the ball landed well inside the line. But there's a reason that I'm over here talking on the headset and the line judges are doing what they're doing. Let's see here. Oh, that's some really great. Oh, just barely, yeah. My eyes deceived me, I must admit. I thought it landed over on the right-handed side of the line there as it was coming through. But nonetheless, great call by the line judge. And obviously, he's much closer lined up on that thing. And White Bear Lake has their second 2-point lead of this contest. It's been neck and neck the entire time, though. Lots of ties, lots of back and forth. The biggest lead, I believe, was the 5 points when Mahtomedi was up 6-1 early. And then White Bear Lake just started to slowly crawl back. They ended up making it 9-7 at one point. And then ever since we got to that point, it's just been back and forth throughout the rest of the contest, as this one looks to be tight to the end. Gieske on the serve for the Bears. Not handled cleanly by Mahtomedi, so this will be a free attempt for the Bears. Hammered down there by Stadther. Ella Stadther with the big right-handed swing for White Bear Lake. Mulvey with the big swing from the left side, but that'll be an error as it sails out of bounds. White Bear Lake finding themselves on a nice little run now. After a little run from White Bear Lake, Mahtomedi will use another timeout as White Bear Lake finding themselves just 2 points away from taking the first contest in this matchup. Mahtomedi really had things going nicely early, but a lot of the points that White Bear Lake has been able to get seem to have been self-inflicted wounds by the Zephyrs. A lot of errors, a lot of tips here and there, a lot of unexpected change-ups from the Bears that just kind of get dropped slowly over the net. Because when Mahtomedi has been able to hit it cleanly, it has worked out very well for them. The big three up front have proven to be lethal frequently, and they certainly won't stop using them throughout the contest. So we will see. Gieske will continue to serve for the Bears as they look to put this one away with 2 points, that is. Stadther with a teardrop attempt returned. That's great serve with the attempt in the middle. Great serve, but that was deflected by Stadther. It's sent back over the net, and the Bears find themselves with set point. Gieske will look to close this one out if she can. And it just sneaks over the top of the net. Played nicely on the defense by Mahtomedi. Little bit of a premature jump there. Mulvey with an attempt has deflected. First real back and forth volley we've had in quite some time. Stadther will look to put an end to it. Mahtomedi says no. We get a whistle. The White Bear Lake is given the point as a double hit. It's called on the Zephyrs, and just like that, the first game will go in the favor of the Bears. Wow, that was an unexpected ending to the first game, I gotta say, especially with how that back and forth was going. It's a shame to see. It's a shame we didn't get to see a kill end it, but nonetheless, the Bears will take game one, and we have ourselves a good contest. It's just shaping up to be a nice one, folks. Stick with us. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back and bring you the second set on SEC Sports.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm. rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
Back at Mahtomedi High School, I think just wrapped up the first set in this one. It was White Bear Lake who took the 25-18 victory in the Battle of the Lake Volleyball edition. David Schuyler, sports producer for SEC Sports, still bringing you this contest all night long. I'll be with you as we had a really good back and forth first set. I don't think the final score is indicative at all of how things played out throughout that one. It was actually Mahtomedi who raced out to the early lead at 6-1. The Bears slowly crawled back, and then from about 9-7 on, we had several ties, several lead changes. White Bear Lake had 2-point leads twice, and Mahtomedi came back and tied. But then at the very end, White Bear Lake just clawed and chipped away. No pun intended, or maybe it was. We'll never know. And pulled out for the 25-18 victory. Starting off this second set, teams will stay on the same side of the court. That's actually a rule that's been in place since COVID. Pre-COVID, they used to go back and forth after every single set. But nowadays, the teams just choose to stay on the same side, or not choose to do so. That's the rule that they do so. As you see some highlights from that first set. Mulvey with that last one there. That was an error for the Zephyrs. But you saw throughout those highlights, up front for the Zephyrs, Mulvey, Greatzer, and Tarnowski. They were certainly a big, strong force for Mahtomedi. They were able to deliver a lot of kills, and then it just came back to bite them when they had errors here and there. The Bears on the other side, though, less mental mistakes. And they got their points different ways. They weren't relying a whole lot on bumps at spike. It was a few change-up. It was a few teardrops here and there, and I think it just really threw Mahtomedi off because they weren't expecting it. But here we go. First serve of the second set. And Caruso will have the honors for White Bear Lake. That was Olivia Ross going up for Mahtomedi and delivering the teardrop over the net to give the Zephyrs the early lead. That one was deflected. It hit the top of the net and deflected over ever so slowly. I believe the ruling was that Mahtomedi ran into the, no, wait a second. I must admit, I'm not sure what the ruling was there. Nonetheless, the Zephyrs retained the serve. That one could not be dug out cleanly by the Bears. So Claire Crothers will keep things rolling here for Mahtomedi. That was Reagan Farmer for the Bears who got up and was able to hammer it down. Deflected out of bounds. White Bear Lake will get the first serve of the second set. Going back to do the honors for the Bears will be Maddie Pearson. That was Malvi who went up on that left side, her favorite spot. And Mahtomedi is able to get the side out right back. And they're starting this one off just like they did the first set. So we will see if they can continue the momentum this time and push the lead further and further, or how White Bear Lake's going to respond this time around. Service error there on Hergenroder for the Zephyrs. It'll be Gieske who heads back to serve, the libero for White Bear Lake. Malvi looks to put an exclamation point on that one, and she succeeds. Greatzer will head back to serve now. And a beautiful spike down the right side. That one sailed ever so cleanly in a bullet straight line down the line. And White Bear Lake will take the point. Didn't quite catch the number of the player that hit that one, unfortunately. But nonetheless, it'll be Stather that goes back to serve for White Bear Lake. Stather's serve sails out of bounds. Malvi will get the serve for the white and gold. Teardrop attempt. Made it over the net, but the defense couldn't quite knock it down. It was tipped off of their hands and out of bounds. Serve goes back the way of the orange and black. Save the equipment. I don't know if you folks know this little known fact. Broadcast equipment is far more valuable than our lives, so if that happens again, thankfully I got lucky and it bounced off the corner, but if that happens again, I will not hesitate to lay my life on the line for the broadcast equipment. Mahtomedi now retained the serve, or gets the serve back, side out in their favor. Tarnowski will do the honors, and that is an ace for Tarnowski. Mahtomedi pushes their lead to 8-4. Tarnowski with the right-handed serve. That is not caught cleanly, so a free ball here for Mahtomedi. Greatzer with the spike attempt, and it did work. I was about to say it nearly worked in the sense that made it cleanly to the floor, but it was deflected by White Bear Lake. It bounced around, couldn't be handled. And Tarnowski will continue the serve for Mahtomedi. Service error there from the junior. Tarnowski received some instruction from her assistant coach. Free ball here for the Bears, as this one is hammered down, but defended nicely. Plays off the rafters, and everybody was caught looking at each other as the ball just kind of landed in no man's land. It went up and deflected off of the ceiling rafters, so I think that threw the Zephyrs for a loop a little bit. And another serve coming here for White Bear Lake. Net violation called there on White Bear Lake. Their front row ran into the net. Ramali will serve now for the blue and gold. Gieske opts to set it over the net. And it's Greatzer who goes up and hammers it down for the Zephyrs. That serve, courtesy of Ramali, could not be handled cleanly there by White Bear Lake. A couple of straight points for the Zephyrs lead to a timeout being called by head coach Mackenzie Leverty for the Bears. So the second set playing out a little bit differently from how the first one did. The first one, there was a lot more back and forth, but this second time around, the biggest factor seems to be a few more mental errors on the side of the Bears. There hasn't necessarily been a lot of really heavy kills or tricky sneak plays from Mahtomedi, like little teardrops over the net or anything like that. It's just been a few mishandles here and there, just like that one that you saw there on the serve from Ramali. As Stather wasn't quite able to play it cleanly on the other side. But Mahtomedi's taking advantage. There's a couple more mistakes in the first time around. On the side of Mahtomedi, so White Bear Lake ended up winning. Don't get me wrong, there's been plenty of beautiful volleyball action as well throughout this one. Lots of great bump set spikes. We will hope to see that continue for the next couple of sets. The way this is playing out, though, I certainly wouldn't be surprised in the slightest to see this extended to a full match. But anything can happen, as they say. That one was attempted to be tipped over by Greatzer, but it's returned by the Bears. Big spike coming there from Reagan Farmer for the Bears, and it lands on the Zephyr floor. Checking in now for the Bears will be Gianna Caruso. She will head back to get the serve for the orange and black. That spike attempt sails out of bounds for White Bear Lake. The Crothers will head back and get the serve for Mahtomedi. The spike from Stadler for the Bears is deflected out of bounds. White Bear Lake will take right back over. Maddie Pearson now will head back and do the honors for the Bears. Talk about your beautiful spike attempts. That was dug out very nicely from the back court. Greatzer will return the honors and say thank you very much. If at first you don't succeed, try again, and it certainly worked out for Mahtomedi there. Hergenrader with the serve now for the Zephyrs. Stather with a tip over the net, returned nicely. Greatzer will go up and delivers her second straight kill. Greitzer's a heating up for Mahtomedi now. Chance of We Love Sylvie coming out from the Mahtomedi student section. And I honestly can say that I can't blame them. She's been a force to be reckoned with in the middle of the floor for Mahtomedi tonight. Service error there will put an end to the Zephyr rally. Checking in for Mahtomedi will be number 5, Ashley Moeller, defensive specialist. The libero, Kaylee Gieske, will get another crack at serving. Greatzer delivers once again for Mahtomedi. At this point, you gotta wonder why Mahtomedi would even bother going to anybody else besides Greitzer. This set, she simply cannot be stopped up front. Free ball for Mahtomedi. That one was kind of shoved over the net. No call though, we play on. Teardrop attempt, and that one floats in nicely, courtesy of Ella Stather. Larissa Kamarik will check in for White Bear Lake. Stather will head back and get the serve. Ramali with the big swing. Haven't seen Ramali on the attack very much. It's only the second or third time she's had a crack at the front of the net on that left side. Nonetheless, it works for the Zephyrs as they will take over service. Gieske with the defensive error for the Bears. The serve will continue for for Kaylee Mulvey. But first, we get a timeout called by White Bear Lake. So, of course, it's, as mentioned a couple times, very early on in the fall season, as last week was the first round of football contest, which really means that fall is underway. Mahtomedi took on Brainerd in football. Unfortunately, did not come away with the victory. Tartan was playing Cretin-Derham Hall, and White Bear Lake faced Minnetonka. All three of our schools, unfortunately, going 0 for 3 on the week. But recalling from last year, Mahtomedi had a similar result against Brainerd, and then they came back and rallied and managed to make the state tournament. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them take another run at it again this year. Speaking of which, as mentioned, these Mahtomedi Zephyrs, the volleyball team, made it to state last year. That was their second straight trip. We'll see if the Zephyrs can put themselves another good year and make it 3 years in a row running to the state tournament. Big spike is hammered out. I guess the timeout came at a good time. It really worked for White Bear Lake there, as the big shot is delivered. And White Bear Lake will take over possession. This is Stather tipping it over the net. That was Ramali getting another crack at a swing from the left side, and she delivers for the blue and gold. Tarnowski will look to keep things going. And I'm not sure what the call was there. Lots of confusion on the Mahtomedi side of things. They were even asking who's it on. Still trying to figure that out as Romali will run over and talk to the umpire. The other ref coming over to try and clear things up now as well. And we get a slight stoppage in the action so everybody can catch their breath.
Redo.
And a redo is called. I've been working this job for 5 years now, and this is maybe the first time I've just seen a straight redo because the umpire said, I messed up. Maybe it's happened before, but I certainly don't remember any other times. In any case, never happened. It's out of the history books, and we play on. Brooklyn Geisbers with the big slam there for White Bear Lake. Geisbers will head back and get the serve as well. As this one's sent over, it'll be a free ball for the Bears. The left-handed stab over the net, courtesy of Reagan Farmer. And the Bears finding themselves on a nice little run here. Geisbers will send it over. And then on the defensive side of things for the Bears, it's Larissa Kamarick who goes up and slams it down. Another serve coming, fourth straight for Geisbers. Romali with another crack from the left side, and that is sent back over, right over the head of Romali. That one landed on the ground. Romali quickly puts her hands on her face, says, oh man, I screwed that one up. She jumped in the air about 3 seconds before the ball got over the net. She was just so excited for it. Nice little rally going for White Bear Lake now. Romali again tips this one over. Mahtomedi really favoring that left side, and Romali now taking a crack from the other side. That was Mallory Moore, or that was Louisa Tarnowski who sent it out of bounds, and now it's Mahtomedi who needs to call the timeout after we get 5 straight points from White Bear Lake. Now we're getting to look a little bit like the first set a little bit. I thought that Mahtomedi might run away with this one. I had a sneaking suspicion early on the way things were shaping out that they might, but that one ended up being back and forth, and now you just never know what can happen in these matchups between good teams. You get a few points here, a few points there, and suddenly a 9-point deficit can turn into a 4-point contest at the blink of an eye. The Mahtomedi brought back a lot of key players from last year's team. As we remind you of our upcoming coverage later on, we got plenty of action coming your way throughout the rest of the fall season. On this upcoming Friday, we'll have football, head to the gridiron for the first time as Tartan takes on Highland Park, and then we'll have soccer match between White Bear Lake and Roseville before we bring you we'll be back at Mahtomedi to bring you football the following Friday. On the 13th, the Zephyrs will take on the Hastings Raiders. But back here on the floor, Geisbers has yet another successful serve, and the Bears chipping away at this deficit, now finding it's only a 3-point affair after being A 9-point lead for Mahtomedi, and they finally put an end to that rally. Romali now will head back and do the honors for Mahtomedi. Ooh, great defensive play there from Romali as she somersaults backwards and it's sent back over. Stather with the tip over the net. Played there by Ross. Ross will take a crack at the spike as well. Ooh, and that one is set down cleanly between three Mahtomedi Zephyrs, and White Bear Lake takes the point, courtesy of Brady Keeling. Gianna Caruso will check back in for the black and orange and head back to serve. Oh, nice little change-up serve that just died over the net. That's the best way I can put it. It came ever so slowly over the net. I don't think Mahtomedi expected it to even make it over. That was beautifully done there by Caruso. Mahtomedi expected it that time. Greatzer wasn't fooled. She mistimed her jump a little bit and sends it out of bounds. And here we go. Now it's a 1-point contest. Caruso again. A little bit more oomph on that one. Ross will try for Mahtomedi. No. This one sent. That one sails out of bounds. That was Reagan Farmer who couldn't quite get the handle on the spike attempt. Crothers now for the Zephyrs. And that one played beautifully. I thought it was going to land out, but instead gets back in. Nonetheless, Mahtomedi gets a free attempt, though. And a great defensive play on one side meets a great offensive play on the other side, and Mahtomedi 2 points away from taking the second set. That one goes out of bounds, and here we go now. Mahtomedi with the set point. Brothers will look to put this one away. And not quite yet as it lands out of bounds. The Zephyrs will still have 3 cracks at it. Maddie Pearson to serve for White Bear Lake. Oh, I thought it was going to hit the net. Nope. Gieske with a nice play. Sent over by Keeling. The big hammer is brought down by Kaylee Mulvey, and she takes the game for Mahtomedi. Fans certainly like that one as Mahtomedi battle scratches and claws their way through that one. It certainly got a little close for comfort there at the end, but nonetheless, Mahtomedi able to take the second set and pull even as we are knotted up 1-1 after 2 games. We'll take a quick break, come back to bring you the third set between White Bear Lake and Mahtomedi in the Take the Lake battle.
My 15-year-old son, Ethan, and I had a fun and relaxing morning. We returned home, and Ethan walked to his best friend's house an hour later. I heard the ambulance scream by the street, carrying my beautiful boy. Ethan was shot in the head in his best friend's house with an unsecured gun. he had zero chance of survival. The father, the gun owner, he stored his 3 guns and bullets in a shoebox.
How do you feel?
That has to be the most horrific experience that a human could ever have.
David, would you give any advice?
First thing you do is not keep your ammunition with your weapons, and that your weapons need to be locked at all times.
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/teamup.
Welcome back inside Mahtomedi High School. After what ended up being a back and forth second set, we found ourselves knotted up, and we will for sure play 4 sets in this one. Take a look at some highlights from that second set. As Romali played a good set for the Zephyrs in that one. She delivered a lot of killing blows from that front left side. Also did well on the defensive side of things as well. As you saw that reverse somersault on that one. And of course up front, Malvi and Greatser continued to deliver for Mahtomedi as well. As you saw a spike there from Malvi to put the exclamation point on the second set. And here we find ourselves. First set being, or 2 sets are in the books. First set being a 25-18 victory for the Bears, and then flipped around and it was 25-21 victory for Mahtomedi. The second time around, you see the assistant coach giving a couple of pointers to Mahtomedi's Claire Crothers before she checks into the contest. Claire, of course, being the libero for the Zephyrs, that's why she's wearing that dark jersey as opposed to all the light ones. Mahtomedi will start things off. And it'll be Romali who gets the serve for the Zephyrs to get us underway. And we have a really quick service error, so White Bear Lake will take right over. We get a quick substitution that's checking in now for the Bears will be Gianna Caruso. Caruso with the serve that barely makes it over the top of the net. Great serve would look to deliver. Smashes it right into the net, and the Bears take a 2-0 lead. If I'm not mistaken, of the 3 sets, I believe this is the first one where White Bear Lake has found themselves getting out to a lead early on. Romali with a little bit of a split dig there. As in she was doing the splits while she did the dig. But we play on. Romali with another dig for the Zephyrs. Great dig on the other side. Gieske will bring it over, and it's a free ball for the Zephyrs, but a nice play there. Greatser goes up and hammers it down, but it's ruled out of bounds. Oh, the fans can't believe that one. It had to be close. My view was blocked by said fans. It looked really good to me. It looked good to Greatser as well. But it's ruled out by the line judge, and a third straight serve coming for White Bear Lake. Greatser will send it up, get it back. She'll take another crack. That one is sent over and then nailed out of bounds. Stadther was stunned by that one. She couldn't believe it. I think the ball, hit her in the face and then went back to Greatser, and she smashed it out of bounds. But the Bears will take it. great defense up front, courtesy of Stadther and Keeling for the Bears. And that change-up serve couldn't be handled by Tarnowski. So now, a little bit of a slow start for Mahtomedi after they controlled things at the end of that second. Well, I guess I shouldn't even say they controlled things at the end. They controlled in the sense that they ended up winning it, but it was the Bears who were getting a little bit of momentum, and perhaps if volleyball sets were played to 30, they would have come all the way back, but Mahtomedi was able to hang on. So now White Bear Lake carrying that momentum into this third set, and they race out to a quick 6-0 lead and force a timeout from head coach T.S. Schlunt and the Zephyrs. For Coach Schlunt, this is her second season leading the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Of course, last year was a successful year for her first one, as the Zephyrs finished with a 17-15 record and made it to the state tournament for the second straight season. They finished 5-2 in the Metro East, which was good for third place. But don't ask me to explain how the conference matchups work exactly, as Mahtomedi only plays 7 games in conference, whereas some other teams played 8, some even played 9. But while they may have finished third in the conference, they made it count elsewhere, making a run to the state tournament. Back in action though, White Bear Lake takes the first point, now finds themselves with a definitive 7-0 lead early on here in this third set. Big hammer brought down by Grazer, but it's defended nicely there by Gieske, who will return it back over. That's Ross who will take a crack at it for the Zephyrs. And it lands out of bounds after the Bears couldn't quite return it. First point of the third set for Mahtomedi. Crothers will serve now for Mahtomedi. Gieske with a tip, or I'm sorry, there's a Gieske and there's a Grazer. Grazer with the tip over. That one was deflected by a Zephyr. The White Bear Lake will get the side out. Pearson on the serve. Grazer will go up. Her hit bounces off the top of the net and lands on the ground. Not pretty, but it'll work for Mahtomedi. Hergenrader on the serve for the Zephyrs. That one was sent across by Keeling, deflects off a couple of Zephyrs and sails out of bounds. White Bear Lake back up to a 7-point lead. Gieske serving. That's Grazer with the tip over the net. Gieske couldn't quite see around Stadther and Geispers up front, so she didn't know that it was dropping in slowly behind them. Results in a point. Grazer now will serve. Curve ball over the net by Geispers, lands out of bounds. Clean ace there for Sylvie Grazer. We thank you all once again for joining us on this second edition of the Take the Lake. Last week we had the girls soccer edition. And White Bear Lake took that one by a 2-1 margin. We'll see if Mahtomedi can return the favor tonight, or if White Bear Lake will go 2-0 in the Take the Lake efforts. Mahtomedi now slowly chipping into this Bears lead, and we get a timeout on the floor. White Bear Lake raced out to a big lead. Now Mahtomedi slowly inching their way right back into this. And if there's anything I've learned from the first 2 sets and the first 15 points of this contest is you can't just count either of these teams out. Just when you think that one is starting to pull away and dominate the contest, take possession, take ownership, however you want to phrase it, that's when the other starts to slowly crawl right back into it. That's been the case in all 3 sets now. Nobody has really raced out to say like a 11, 12, 13, 14 point lead. No, there's been a 9-point lead, but then every single time the gap has been closed and we find ourselves with some close contests. Point for Mahtomedi as a double hit is called on the Bears. Greatser will continue the serve now. Her 5th straight. The refs checking with each other to make sure that they got the call right. Coach Liberty wanted a clarification for the Bears. And we're getting it now on the other side as well. And we will play on. Nothing changes in the scorebook. Zephyrs continue the serve. Right up until Mallory Moore has something to say about it. Delivers a kill for the Bears, and they put an end to that rally for White Bear Lake. To that rally for Mahtomedi. Checking in for White Bear Lake now, number 8, Larissa Kamarick. As Ramali delivers a big hit from the left side. Picking up right where she left off in the second set. Malvi now will go back for the serve. And that's an ace for Malvi. Substitution on the side of the Bears, checking in number. I didn't catch the number. I thought they said 4. I don't have a 4 on my roster. Nonetheless, Malvi now. And that one is blocked up front courtesy of Tarnowski and Greatser for the Zephyrs. Malvi will look to keep it going. And what I say, just like that, you can never count out either of these teams as we find ourselves in a 1-point contest. Ramali with the big right-handed swing from the left side. Dug out nicely there by the Bears. Sent back across by Zephyrs. And then it's Ramali who goes up and delivers. Now we're all knotted up. Back and forth we go. It seems like the one thing you don't want to do in this contest is get out to a big lead, because it's the exact place that the other team wants to be in. A little bit of an awkward looking attack there from the Bears, and it sails out of bounds, and Mahtomedi finds themselves with their first lead of this third set. service error from Mulvey will put an end to that rally, but she did her job nonetheless. Bringing Mahtomedi all the way back in this one. She'll take a much-needed breather. And the serve will come courtesy of Farmer. Mallory Moore serving now for the Bears. That one was almost tipped ever so slightly over the net by Tarnowski, but she didn't get a handle on it. It deflected just off her fingertips and lands on the Zephyr side. So another serve coming from Moore. Romali now will get another attempt from that left side. Deflected by the Bears, sent out of bounds, side out Mahtomedi. Tarnowski now will serve. This one played awkwardly by White Bear Lake, and they will not be able to get it over the net. And here we go, back and forth, back and forth. That one bounces off the ceiling and is played by Romali. Will continue. Ceiling is in play. The big hammer is brought down by Brooklyn Giespers for the Bears. Giespers with the great build-up and swing into that one. Got every bit of that. Pushes White Bear Lake back in front by one. Keeling now with the attempt. And that one goes. Consecutive points now for the Bears. They push themselves back in front. This one played awkwardly, but White Bear Lake recovers. Little bit of a free ball here. Sent over by Tarnowski. Jump set. And we get our first spike at this point. Played nicely by Mahtomedi. That one's deflected up into the air. Moore will play it. Sent over there by Hergenrotter. That one's deflected up front, and we got a nice volley going here. And a throw is called on White Bear Lake, and Mahtomedi will be rewarded with the point. Great back and forth from both sides on that one. Unfortunately, it ends on an error. But Mahtomedi will take it. Romali's serve sails out of bounds. Caruso on the serve for White Bear Lake. Tipped over there. Dug out nicely by the Bears, though, and the spike is rejected up front by Greatser. If you're going to attempt a spike in the face of Greatser and Tarnowski, you best not miss. That one, different strategy. Don't try to spike it in the face of the big players. Tip it over instead. It works out nicely. White Bear Lake back to a 2-point lead now. Back and forth we go. Tarnowski delivers for the Zephyrs. Hergen Raider on the serve now. The junior setter. Didn't quite make out the number of the Bears player that was able to hammer that one down, but it's deflected out of bounds by the Zephyrs. There was a chase for it over by the team bench. Thankfully, nobody got hurt. Gieske now will serve. That one played awkwardly, but it works. There's a little bit of a side bump there for Mahtomedi that just barely tipped the top of the net and drops over. And the Gold will take it. Greatzer now. As that one sails out of bounds and we are knotted up. That one just kind of palmed awkwardly over the net. Mahtomedi takes advantage. Mahtomedi now finds themselves in front. Possibly for the first time in this third set. White Bear Lake will look to respond. And it's Stather who couldn't quite get the tip over the net. Error there for the Bears. There haven't been too many of those this time around in this set. Coach Leverty has seen enough. She will call a timeout and try to get the Bears to regroup, pull things together here in this third set. White Bear Lake had been leading for the majority of this third set. But after a nice run here from the Zephyrs, they find themselves in front, and they will look to make it 2 sets in a row after the Bears claimed the first one. So you see Greatzer delivered a giant kill there for the Zephyrs. You see these last couple of points. That was a deflection out of bounds. And then it was a spike that was a little too hot for Ramali to handle, but then she delivered on the offensive side as well. And there you go. Plenty of highlights, plenty of points on both sides. As it's a 20-18 contest here in this third set, as somebody looks to gain an advantage before we get pushed to the fourth set. Greatzer will look now to continue to keep things rolling for Mahtomedi with her 4th straight serve. Side out White Bear Lake. And it'll be Stadler on the serve. Mulvey had to reach way back there for that one. Tipped back over by the Bears. This is Ramali tipping it over. Big smash there, courtesy of Geispers, and she gets the point. Geispers up front from that left side. Reached back, swung, knocked it down. It was a little too hot for Mahtomedi to handle. Romali goes way up and smashes it down. Boy, she really elevated for that one. Mulvey will serve for Mahtomedi. That one sails way out of bounds, not even close. Mulvey will get a second serve in a row. Mahtomedi looks to go on a bit of a run here at the end of this third set. Hope we'll try to close things out. That one was a little too strong, knocked over the net. Dug out nicely there. Over on the right side, that's Tarnowski who couldn't quite get it over the net. Side out, White Bear Lake. Here we go, this one coming down to the wire. That's Pearson on the serve for the Bears. That one tips off the top of the net and we play on. That one sails out of bounds. We are all square. 22-22. Service error from Pearson. Side out Mahtomedi. Tarnowski now will serve. And that is an attack error. Can't quite make out the number on this side of things. Oh, it's 5. Farmer, that was an attack error on Farmer, and Mahtomedi will have 2 set points. That's deflected, but Mahtomedi recovers. They'll play on. Romali sets it over the net. Bears recover nicely. Free ball here. Can Mahtomedi take advantage? Romali! Great defensive effort. That one is in. That was a great spot to pick from the far side. For Farmer, I believe it was. Mahtomedi calls a timeout with things really tense coming down to the end of this very important, very decisive third set. Tia Schlunt wants to take a break and talk things over before we get the upcoming serve from the Bears. Well, both these teams are certainly resilient. The story of all 3 sets has been teams pushing out to 7, 8, 9-point lead at times even. Every single time the other side has come right back. The teams are evenly matched. There's no doubt about that. There's been plenty of offense. There's been a few errors here and there, but I don't think that's the story of the contest by any means. Typically in high school volleyball, a lot of contests will be decided by whichever side has less errors. Then you can see some contests, especially when you get into the clean sweeps, where one side gets a lot of service errors, gets a lot of attack errors, defensive errors, and that results in one-sided victories. But plenty of balanced volleyball here tonight. Change-up serve sent over, not risking anything, but it'll be a free spike there from Romali, and she delivers. Junior Sahar Romali from the left side says, "Thank you very much for the slow serve. I will take that and I will shove it right back in your face and push us out to a 2-1 lead in this contest." After 3 sets, Mahtomedi takes 2 straight sets. They find themselves with a 2-1 lead. And things are certainly very exciting here at Mahtomedi High School as we get you set for set number 4 between the Bears and the Zephyrs in the Take the Lake contest. Stick with us, folks. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back to bring you the 4th set of action. You're watching SEC Sports.
We come from a long line of farmers, and there's a sense of pride in being part of these multi-generational businesses. But there's also a significant amount of pressure. My senior year of high school, my dad made the decision that this world no longer needed him in it. I don't know if he was overwhelmed by the bills and checks that weren't going to be coming in because of the strawberries dying off, but it breaks my heart that my dad made a permanent decision for a temporary issue. Don't feel like you have to go through it alone.
Farmers have to take care of their physical and their mental health, because what's a farm without a farmer?
In the mornings, that's my time. Watching the sun come up, I can have a cup of coffee and exercise if I want to. It helps me start the day with a sense of gratitude.
Yay!
Every day is a new opportunity. Don't forget to check in on yourself. Love your mind.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused.
A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out that self-doubt and support your mental health? Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and your mental health.
Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Three sets are in the books between the Zephyrs and the Bears in the Take the Lake contest. Mahtomedi holding the 2-1 edge after a thrilling back and forth contest that came down to the wire in set number 3. David Schuyler talking to myself over here at Mahtomedi High School. Very happy to bring you this contest between two of our schools that we cover as part of the Ramsey Washington Suburban Cable Commission. Always great when we can bring you a contest of any kind from any of our schools, but it's even better when it features two of them squaring off against each other. We are happy to be here. It's turning out to be a fantastic contest, and I hope you folks are enjoying it at home as well. Starting off this 4th set, it will be White Bear Lake that gets the serve. Caruso will go back and deliver the honors. Romali decides to play that one. Certainly would have been close, but we go on. Brady Keeling delivers a teardrop over the net. That one almost looked like it was thrown over the net, but we continue. Change up over the net. That one is hammered down, but it's blocked up front by Stather. Boy, this contest has certainly had it all. Great offense, great defense, lots of blocks up front. Lots of good digs, lots of side outs, back and forth action. What more could you ask for in a battle, in a Take the Lake battle? That one sneaks under the outstretched arms of Caruso, and Mahtomedi will take over. Crothers with the serve. Greatzer with the running jump, and she hammers it down. Great running start there for Sylvie Greatzer. She delivers the kill for Mahtomedi. I have no idea what the ground rules are for these students supporting this match, but they keep sneaking out further and further and further. It's getting harder and harder for me to see what goes on, folks, but I will do my best. As that one is knocked out of bounds by White Bear Lake. So Crothers will have her 5th straight serve. Keeling sends it across where Molly digs it out. Mulvey hammers it down. And a 5-point run now for Mahtomedi. Crothers will continue. That one sent across by Stather. Tipped over the net by Greatzer. Play continues. Keeling got it over, rejected by Greatzer. Greatzer with another running slam, and it's out of bounds. Greatzer attempted the same play that she had a couple of points ago when she was able to get a nice running start over to that right side. This time just misfired ever so slightly. It lands out of bounds. White Bear Lake with the side out. Mulvey with the big right-handed slam for the Zephyrs. Now serving for the Zephyrs, Katie Hergenrader. Hergenrader's serve goes into the net. White Bear Lake will take right back over. Gieske will serve. We play on. I thought that was a double hit up front. We continue. Tarnowski couldn't capitalize for the Zephyrs. Free ball here for the Bears. Stadther will try to deliver. No correction. It's Keeling, and she succeeds. I thought it was going to be Stadther, but the Bears even psyched me out. Instead, it was Brady Keeling who delivered. Mahtomedi gets the side out. Greatzer will begin the serve. That one dug nicely by Crothers, and Crothers sends it back across. Nice play there from Mahtomedi. That one hammered down, and my life is saved by this gentleman in the blue shirt. That thing was headed straight for me, and his dude at the last second stuck his arm out. More importantly, he saved the broadcast equipment. Nobody worry, we're still happy to bring you the rest of the action for the rest of the night. But Greatzer will continue the serve here for the Zephyrs as they find themselves with the 3-point edge. That one is hammered down by Stather, and she puts an end to that run. Stather will now serve for the Bears. Giespers tries to send it across, but it's dug nicely. Romali will tip it over, and it lands on the White Bear Lake side of the net. So it will be a point for the Zephyrs. Mulvey now on the serve. That one is hammered right at Leo. Oh no, Leo takes it to the head. What a champ. Gets right back in there and grabs the shot. If you don't think our camera operators are putting their lives on the line every single shoot, you are wrong. We got some warriors out here bringing you high school volleyball. Another successful serve for Mulvey, and the Zephyrs race out to a 5-point edge in this one. Somebody check on Leo. Does he need an ice pack? You need an ice pack? Oh, you good? You're good. Okay, great. It at least ricocheted off the wall. Well, Leo's doing great. Mahtomedi is doing great, speaking of which, finding themselves with a 12-7 edge in this contest. This set having a little bit of a different story than all the others in the sense that it was back and forth early on, and now Mahtomedi is pushing away a little bit, whereas all the other ones, it's been one-sided, and then somebody claws right back into it. So that said, even though Mahtomedi finds themselves with a 5-point edge, 2-1 edge in the sets, you can't count out White Bear Lake. Couple points here, couple points there, 4 of the next 6, 5 of the next 7. White Bear Lake can get right back into this thing. And we'll see how it goes. They certainly have the firepower to do so. Stather's been strong up front for the Bears. Giespers, Keeling doing well. Gieske making a lot of digs in the back. But on the other side, I mean, really, what can you do to slow down the firepower of Greatzer, Tarnowski, and Mulvey for the Zephyrs? You kind of got to hope that they just miss. Otherwise, it's coming at you hard. As I was saying, hope that Tarnowski misses, which she does, and White Bear Lake gets the point. Moore with the ace for White Bear Lake. Romali will take a swing from the left side. Dug out nicely by Gieske. Off the basketball hoop. And it lands out of bounds. A little bit of an awkward tumble and kind of a face plant there for White Bear Lake. It looks like a 4 on there is a 4 on the jersey, but I apologize. I don't have a 4 on my roster for White Bear Lake. But regardless of who she is, we are glad that she is okay, and we continue on. I have to believe it's maybe Reagan Holm, listed on the junior varsity roster, who's getting some varsity reps. Because that's the only 4 that I have listed. And the side is once again back out for White Bear Lake, but a service error sends things right back in the way of Mahtomedi. Romali will serve now for Mahtomedi. Big swing delivered from Brady Keeling, and it tips out of bounds off of Zephyr fingertips. Side out, White Bear Lake. Checking in for the Bears, Gianna Caruso. And she will head back for the serve. Hergenrader couldn't quite get the handle on that one, misplayed it up front. We will get a second straight serve from Caruso. Great serve goes up. And delivers an attack error, unfortunately. That one sails out of bounds. Fourth straight serve coming up. Great serve again with the big swing. This time she delivers. Side out for Mahtomedi. Claire Crothers once again will get the honors for Mahtomedi. Big swing, but great dig there from Crothers. And Crothers sent it back across. This will be a free ball. Keeling with another big swing, and that one's out of bounds. Crothers now will look to keep things going as this one's set out of bounds, but a nice recovery there from the Bears. This is Greatzer, who tips it over, and she finds the open area. Momentum definitely starting to shift in the way of the Zephyrs as they continue to roll. Crothers. That one couldn't be handled up front. I'm kind of surprised we're not getting a timeout here from Coach Liberty for the Bears, where Crothers will just look to keep things moving. Teardrop over the net puts an end to the Zephyr rally. And the side out comes for White Bear Lake. A little bit of a sigh of relief on their side of things, as it felt like Mahtomedi could run away with things. But we continue on. Attack error courtesy of the Zephyrs. So a second straight serve coming now for Maddie Pearson. Greatzer went up and brought the hammer down on that one. There was not much that Gieske could do there except for try and play it with her shoulder, and it deflects off of her, sails out of bounds, and Mahtomedi will take the point. White Bear Lake takes a timeout as they look to slow things down. And Mahtomedi finds themselves 6 points away from victory here in this fourth set. We highlighted before, but we want to bring to your attention again. We've got plenty of upcoming contests headed your way on SEC Sports. This Friday, we'll be headed out to Oakdale for some Tartan Titan football as the Titans look to rebound from a season-opening loss as they take on the St. Paul Highland Park Scots. And then next week, Thursday, we'll be headed over to White Bear Lake. Cover some boys soccer as the Bears take on their rival, the Roseville Raiders. And then on that Friday, we'll be coming back to Mahtomedi once again to see the Mahtomedi football team for the first time as they take on their rivals from the Metro East, the Hastings Raiders. Coming out of the timeout, headed back to serve for the Zephyrs, senior Ashley Moeller. Stadther delivers a big swing and sends it back in the way of White Bear Lake. Geispers goes up and shows some strong play at the net. Delivers another point for the Bears. Bears now back within 2. Gieske will continue the serve. Mulvey with the attack error into the net. And now all of a sudden, just like all the other sets, here we go once again. It wasn't exactly a monumental huge lead for the Zephyrs, but nonetheless, you get a timeout and it turns out to be a fantastic one from Coach Leverty. White Bear Lake composes themselves, pieces things together. Next thing you know, we have a 1-point contest here in the 4th set. Coming up here for the Bears going forward after today's contest. On Thursday, they will take on St. Paul Central over at the new White Bear Lake Gym. They had a whole bunch. I don't know if you've heard by now. I certainly hope you have, but just in case you haven't, they got a whole bunch of new amenities over at White Bear Lake. Brand new high school. South Campus and North Campus is no more. It's just one building. And they have Galvin Court, the brand new game gym where volleyball and basketball will be played, in addition to their field house with 5 practice courts. So that's where the Bears will be on Thursday as they take on St. Paul Central. But here we go. Gieske serves it. Zephyrs look to respond. And they do just that. Mulvey goes up and slams it down for the Zephyrs. Greatzer now will have the serve for the Zephyrs. So we get a pause in the action. Oh, a towel's being handed to the ref. There's something seemed to have spilled on the court. Can't see what. Must just be some moisture of some kind. It is very toasty in this gym, so that is not surprising in the slightest. Not a lot of circulation or airflow around here, and an awful lot of people. And why wouldn't there be? Big crowd on hand. Student sections from both schools, in fact, as Greatzer delivers the ace. While there are big student sections, I might add, about half of Mahtomedi isn't even paying attention. What's going on, guys? Come on. It's a close match down the stretch. 3-point contest. You're not even looking at the court. Fantasy football can wait till later. All right, Mahtomedi on the attack. And a double hit is called on the Zephyrs. The White Bear Lake gets the side out and will look to climb right back into this one. Stadther will serve for the Bears. That one tipped into the net. And if that had been touched by White Bear Lake, it would have been fair play for Mahtomedi to continue that, but the ref rules, or the umpire rather, rules that it was not touched by the Bears. It was just clean into the net. So 4 hits called on the Zephyrs. White Bear Lake will look to keep things rolling here. Scooped over the net there by Tarnowski. White Bear Lake plays. We continue on. Gieske with a nice fist over the net. Going up and slamming it down is Mulvey. Take another look at this one, folks. It was back and forth. That was a great save there by the Bears. It was nice of them just to keep play alive at all. Really solid play, but then Mulvey says, all right, I'll just take care of that myself. Mulvey with the serve now. That one smashed down, dug out nicely by Pole for the Zephyrs. A great dig there. We play on as it goes off of the ceiling and then is sent over by Mulvey. Geispers will tip it over for the Bears. On the other side, that's Romali, and she sends it out of bounds. Here we go, yet another set coming down to the wire between these two teams. This is playing out exactly like how the third set played out. Back and forth we go. We get a timeout so everybody can regroup and catch their breath. We mentioned coming up for the Bears, they got St. Paul Central on Thursday at home. Then they will begin conference play briefly as they take on Eastridge over at White Bear Lake High School. And they'll take on Nova Classical on Monday the 16th. They got then they just launch into Suburban East play. And the Suburban East Conference is absolutely loaded with teams that do very well year in and year out. There's a lot of powerhouse programs when it comes to high school volleyball in the Suburban East. We got Eastridge, Forest Lake, and Stillwater that all finished at the top last year. Eastridge with a very impressive 24-6 record. So White Bear Lake will definitely have their hands full when they start conference play. But if they can continue to play like this, I think they will be just fine, and they will be very competitive in Suburban East play this year. I know we're partial, I know we're biased. It's the team we're giving coverage to and whatnot, but there really hasn't been too many errors. There's been solid play all around from the Bears, and of course the Zephyrs as well. As that one lands on the Zephyr side of the net, or on the White Bear Lake side of the net, excuse me, and Mahtomedi with the side out. They will look to close this thing out. Mahtomedi had 2 straight wins in the second and third set, and now they'll look to put away this fourth set as well and take the surfboard. That one gets away from Crothers. She made her best efforts there to try and tip that thing back into play, but couldn't quite get a handle on it. It was deflected up front and she dove, but it'll be the Bears who get the serve. Double hit on the Zephyrs, and now we're all knotted up, 23-23. Don't blink, folks. You're going to miss the end of this one. You're going to want to see every single second of this action. That one sent up into the rafters, played off the ceiling. We continue. Big swing there, and that is dug out nicely by Mahtomedi. Romali goes up. Great defense again. That one sent it, and it's out! Unbelievable! I couldn't see around the students once again, but we get match point for Mahtomedi nonetheless. As that ball landed out of bounds, Romali will go back and try to close out this match for the Zephyrs. She will have one chance to do so. And that is out. Service error on Romali, so we will go to at least 26 in this fourth set. Caruso will check in for the Bears and we'll head back to the serve. We'll try to turn the tide for White Bear Lake. Student section's starting to get loud now. grates her with the big swing, and it is out of bounds. In a clutch moment like that, why wouldn't you go to your big hitter? I completely understand the plan. It was a great strategy. It grates her just a little bit too much on it. White Bear Lake now has a chance to close things out. They get a set point. And that is out of bounds, and we are back even once again. It'll be Crothers now that tries to get things going for Mahtomedi. That one is a service error that sails out of bounds. Now it's White Bear Lake who has the advantage once again. They'll get another set point. It's Maddie Pearson for the Bears, trying to push this to a 5th set. And she does it. She didn't do it exactly, but I don't know what 0-2 means, but whatever it means it's a point for White Bear Lake. After all of that, Mahtomedi was leading the entire time throughout that 4th set, but White Bear Lake just never went away. It came down to the wire at the very end, goes back and forth. We were tied at 23, we were tied at 25. And then sure enough, White Bear Lake puts it away, takes the 27-25 victory. And folks, we are going to a winner-take-all 5th set in the Take the Lake battle. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back to bring you that 5th set here on SCC Sports.
Everyone has a ritual. That small thing that keeps us focused.
A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game? To drown out that self-doubt and support your mental health? Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and your mental health.
Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Life's daily battles are not meant to be fought alone.
We're not powerless, so long as we don't lose sight of what's important.
Don't be afraid to seize that moment to talk to your friends.
Cloud, you okay?
Because checking in on a friend can create a safe space.
The first step on our new journey. You coming?
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Seize the awkward. It's totally worth it.
I certainly hope you didn't go anywhere, folks. Because if you did, if you walked away in that 4th set thinking, oh, Mahtomedi is just going to put this thing away, have 3 straight sets and run to victory, you made a gigantic mistake. Because here we are. Set number 5, play to 15, win by 2, winner takes all. And somebody will be headed home with the Take the Lake surfboard trophy. Boy, only in White Bear Lake or Mahtomedi, Minnesota, can you have a contest where 2 teams play for a surfboard trophy. Never gonna find that anywhere else. Speaking of which, by the way, if White Bear Lake managed to pull this off, they would be taking home the surfboard trophy for the 2nd straight season. Taking a look at some of the highlights from that 4th set, though, it was very back and forth. Errors on both sides, offense on both sides. You saw a great attempt there from Crothers to try and keep the play alive on one of those final sets. Was unable to do so, but... And there it is, folks. The famous Take the Lake trophy goes to the winner of the White Bear Lake and Mahtomedi matchup. Of course, both cities being on opposite sides of White Bear Lake. Mahtomedi is also, I think, it's Native American for White Bear Lake. But I won't pretend to know which Native American tribe it is because I would get it wrong. But I know that it is White Bear Lake. So, point being, these 2 teams very familiar with each other. A rivalry that has developed, despite the fact they're not even in the same conferences. They play each other a lot. It's always a great contest. Always a fierce battle, and we will see in this deciding fifth set who will come away with the surfboard trophy. It'll be White Bear Lake who starts things off, heading back to serve for the Bears. Gianna Caruso. Great serve, goes up and smashes it down and gets things started for the Zephyrs. Take another look at that one, folks. Great serve went up, and the ball slipped in between the fingers of the Bears defenders up front. Mahtomedi takes the early lead. So it'll be Crothers serving. Tarnowski with the big swing and a defensive error on the side of White Bear Lake. Crothers will get her third straight serve. Great defense up front provided by Greatser, and she recovers. And then it's Mulvey who slams it down for the kill. Talk about great defense turning into great offense. Up front, Greatser there. Delivers with the block and then sends it back up. And it's Mulvey with the kill, pushing the Zephyr lead to 3. That one is just out of reach of Stad third. And another defensive mishandle for the Bears. Timeout, White Bear Lake, as the Bears will look to try and regroup. And why wouldn't this set start this way? Honestly, I think there's only been one set that's been close the entire time. Certainly the first, the second, and the third, all were one-sided. If you remember all the way back, seems like ages ago from how this thing is battled out. The very first set, Mahtomedi was up 6-1. And White Bear Lake battled in that one, crawled all the way back. They ended up winning by the most decisive margin in any of the sets, 25-18. I say decided, it was only 7 points. That tells you how this has gone. First set was 25-18 in favor of the Bears. Second set, 25-21 Zephyrs. Third set, 25-23 Zephyrs. And then, of course, that fourth set, 27-25 the way of Mahtomedi. Point being, if you think that this is decided right now 5 points in, you might be mistaken. Oh! Sorry for my one-word remark there, but I trapped that thing so nicely. I couldn't help it. It just came out of me. In any case, that was out of bounds on the side of the Bears, so Mahtomedi will continue the serve. This is Mulvey with the big swing, and Mulvey with the big kill! Lucky number 7 for Kaylee Mulvey. This is the biggest lead that Mahtomedi has had in any set in quite a while. And this will certainly do them huge favors, as you only played a 15 here in the fifth set, and now it's an 8-0 margin. This is a gigantic hill for White Bear Lake to climb. They don't have a lot of points to work with here. They're going to have to start chipping away if they hope to pull back in this decisive fifth set. Mulvey with another hammer! White Bear Lake uses another timeout as Mahtomedi has launched themselves out to a 9-0 dominant first part of this fifth set. I still gotta say, even though it's 9-0, even though Mahtomedi has not let up at all in this fifth set, they have come out so hot. This is not over. I can't believe it. I can't. Part of me wants to think, oh yeah, I mean, how do you stop Mahtomedi right now? And that's so very true. I mean, throughout any set in this contest, at any point in time, the question is always, how do you stop their big three up front? But if White Bear Lake remains poised, calm, pieces themselves together here, gets things, who knows? Point here, point there. They've got a little bit of time. Maybe they could crawl back into this thing, but it's Crothers who will get us going again. Now it's Greatzer who delivers the big slam. Sylvie Greatzer gets the Zephyrs within 5 points of victory. And Mulvey sends it out of bounds. White Bear Lake can finally take a little bit of a breath. But boy, do they have a mountain to climb right now. I didn't think that the big three up front, it didn't seem like they were going to be able to miss at all in this set. But they finally do. Greatzer goes up high and smashes it down. Talk about clutch. Clutch players, oh my gosh. Clutch players, tongue twister. Clutch player, oh, one more time. Clutch players come up big in clutch moments, and that's exactly what Greatzer and Mulvey are doing right now. Mahtomedi gets the point in that one. I have no idea how even the players didn't know how. It looks like perhaps, it looks like perhaps White Bear Lake tried to tip it over the net, but just didn't quite get it over far enough, or perhaps it landed out of bounds. White Bear, or Mahtomedi, though, will take it either way, and they are now within 2 points of victory. This is a stunning fifth set, I gotta say. I mean, fatigue is certainly a factor. This early on in the season, players got to get back into game volleyball shape. But, boy, it's been tight almost the entire time. White Bear Lake's been resilient and never given up. And this is not over, folks, but Mahtomedi, wow. They are just having a powerful, dominant fifth set here. Gieske now will serve for the Bears. And who else but Greatzer? Greatzer goes up and smashes it down, and the Bears will have, what is it, about 10, 11? They will have 12 set points to work with, 12 match points to work with. Oh, I was about ready to jump out of my shoes. I can't see over the students, so I was literally going to jump to see who was about to hammer that thing down and deliver the victory for Mahtomedi. Pending, of course, it hits the ground and whatnot. But then we get the whistle. Play continues on. Crothers bumps it over the net. Big swing there. Was it in? Was it out? Was it in? It was in. White Bear Lake not going away quite yet. Well, you know things are getting crazy when the site manager has come over to the student section to ensure the players don't storm the court after this one. Here we go. And it's tipped. Oh, great defensive play there up front. Courtesy of Geispers. Keeps the Bears alive. That one Out of bounds. So the one umpire was looking at the other one, seeing if there was a tip. Every Mahtomedi player asking for a tip on that one, but they don't get it. So we continue. Going up is Kaylee Mulvey, and she delivers the final blow for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs as they take the 5th set by a 15-6 score, and they will take the Lake Surfboard Trophy from the White Bear Lake Bears. Mulvey just was really able to reach back and lean into that one and smash it down, give Mahtomedi the victory, and the Surfboard Trophy is once again headed back to Mahtomedi and the Zephyrs. Oh, baby, what a contest. We only get to pick and choose so many matches. I mean, it's practically a no-brainer to come out to the gym when White Bear Lake and Mahtomedi are involved. But that was a doozy. As the Mahtomedi players head behind the scorer's table, they get their reward, they get their trophy, they're well-earned. Take the Lake Surfboard Trophy, they will enjoy that. Their undefeated season continues as they take down the White Bear Lake Bears. Zephyrs are now 4-0. Fantastic start to the season, plenty to be proud of. And that, folks, was some fantastic volleyball right there. I hope you stuck around for the entire things, otherwise you were missing out for sure. Want to thank everybody in the truck, everybody running cameras for us. It was a fantastic night of volleyball. We were happy to be here. We'll see you again we will see you again real soon, folks, as we get set to bring you more volleyball, soccer, and football action throughout the rest of the fall season. Once again, I'm David Schuyler. This has been Mahtomedi Zephyr and White Bear Lake Bear Volleyball on SEC Sports.